In Exodus, we see the Lord reveal himself to Moses from within a burning bush. And he declares to Moses his name, I am. And as we follow the story, as the Israelites have fled Egypt, they've fled Pharaoh, they've crossed the Red Sea, and Moses is about to receive the 10 Commandments at the top of Mount Sinai. It says, the scripture tells us that the Israelites would see God on the top of the mountain, and it would appear to them as if he was just a consuming fire. And in Exodus 33, Moses makes a bold ask, saying, God, show me your glory. And right in the next chapter, in Exodus 34, God actually declares his name yet again to Moses as he has come close. And as we reflect on patience this week, I couldn't help but think back to this description that God gives about who he is, about his name, wrapped around the idea that he did this from within a fire, that he was seen as this burning, raging, consuming fire of power and greatness. And he declares to Moses, I am the Lord, compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, and forgiving wickedness, sin, and rebellion. See, the idea for me of slow to anger is one of patience, is one of having a long wick that I can burn for a long time before I am exhausted, before the light goes out. But I also love that this picture that he gives, these words of slow to anger, that they're not alone, that they're wrapped up in these other descriptions. And you can actually see these descriptions often referred to by others to God and from God about himself throughout Scripture. That in the midst of his patience, of his being slow to anger, that he is compassionate and gracious. That he is a God who is abounding in love and faithfulness. And that he offers forgiveness. I think these actually help inform what it means to be patient, to be slow to the anger. Because when I'm slow to anger, it gives me a moment to have more compassion for someone who's in a hard time, who in a hard moment, who just did something that they shouldn't have, who annoyed me in some way. I can step into their shoes and have compassion and offer grace. I love what Patrick Grover shared with us yesterday about love. God says that he's abounding in love. That the opportunity to actually now love someone, that love can actually go even deeper and further than before. But he says he's abounding in love and in faithfulness. How many of us, we just get fed up and we walk away? Sometimes it's just easier to walk away than to stick with a hard situation, to stick with somebody who's being difficult, who's trying our last nerve. I can tell you this, a lot of people are just waiting for the next person to walk away so that they're just proven right. But we, when we're slow to anger, when we're patient, we have an opportunity to say, I'm going to stick with you. I might need a little bit of space, but I'm going to stick with you in this. I'm going to show up tomorrow and the day after that, and I'm going to keep being with you because God is with me. And we have an opportunity to offer forgiveness to that person who wronged us, who hurt us, to be patient with them, to give them the opportunity, to give them time, and to offer forgiveness. So my prayer for us today for us this week, in the midst of trying circumstances, would be that our wick would grow long. Not of our own power, but because we are tied into God's power. That it's His light that is burning within us. It's His patience. It's His compassion. It's His love and faithfulness. And it's His forgiveness. So may you this week be filled with the Spirit and the presence of God. That His glory may shine out of you. And just like Moses, that maybe too your face would radiate with God's glory.